Hello, my name is Izidakus and I'm here to bring you a Trackmania drifting tutorial. So drifting in Trackmania is extremely essential. It's a mechanic used all throughout the game and it's an essential trick to know if you want to be a top player. Now, there are a variety of map styles in Trackmania, but one that uses this trick the most is the tech style. As the name suggests, it's a highly technical map style, and knowing how to drift properly is gonna gain you a huge advantage over your opponents. First thing to know, when to drift. There are a variety of turns in Trackmania, and knowing when to drift and in which turn you have to drift is an essential skill to know how to drift. There are three types of way to go about it when you are taking a turn. So one of them is full speed. Basically, as the name suggests, you don't release the acceleration button and you don't brake. You just go, accelerate as hard as you can and try to do the turn that way. Then you have releasing. Basically, you release the acceleration so that you can do the turn smoother in case you maybe go and hit a wall because you're too fast. And then you have the third, which is drifting, as we've said. And in full speed, usually the turns are very wide and you can do them properly. Releasing, usually the turns go about in a perpendicular shape to you, to your car. And when to drift, basically it's when those two actions don't apply. And a third one is when the turns are extremely sharp. When the turns are extremely sharp, that's when you know you have to drift, because if you don't drift there, you're gonna lose an insane amount of speed that might cost you a very good PB. Second thing we're going to talk about is the requirements to be able to perform a drift. So first things first is the surface you need to be driving on to be able to perform the drift. So there are various surfaces in Trackmania, one being road, then we have dirt, grass, ice, we have the sausage block, and those are about all the blocks that we have. Oh, and there's plastic as well. So to be able to drift, you need to be driving on either road or sausage, which are the surfaces that let you have constant grip on the ground, and in those surfaces you'll be able to drift perfectly, while on the other ones, other than road and sausage, you won't be able to drift even if you try to brake. We have the requirements while we're driving. You're gonna have to see more than 180 speed on your car, and you're also gonna have to be turning for just a little while, maybe half a second, and like that you'll be able to perform the drift when you start braking. If you don't do this, while you brake, your car is just gonna deaccelerate instead of turning while you drift. And this can cause you to either hit a wall or lose control over your car since you are expecting it to start drifting. Something to note as well is that you are not releasing the accelerate key. You need to keep pressing down the accelerate key even while you brake to perform a drift. Next, we are going to talk about the correct line while we're drifting. When you start to drift, you are going to go as close to the corner as possible, fully steering into the corner you want to drift through. And while you do that, you want to drift just enough to be able to go past that corner at full speed when you release the drift button. Here are some examples of how you can do these turns. That is really all you need to know to be able to drift in Trackmania. But there are more tutorials out there that can maybe explain better to you than how I did it. Some tutorials you could check out that contain drifting is, for example, Janix's tutorial or Virtual's tutorial. Both of them very good tutorials which talk about drifting in a certain part of them. You also have another mechanic in Trackmania called speed drifting, which I'm not gonna talk in this video as it is only a full speed mechanic, but it can really help you in that track style. If you want to learn that mechanic, I'm not gonna do a tutorial on it, but you have Mudda's tutorial on it, which is a very good Trackmania player, especially at the full speed style. I'm gonna leave it down in the description of these 3 videos in case you want to check it out. And yeah, that's about it.